My dear students, good morning. I hope everybody is okay. Welcome to this online class. Today I am going to describe past perfect and past perfect continuous tense. So, first of all, past perfect. Past perfect. The definition of this tense is the past perfect tense is used to clarify an action that occurred before another action in the past. Look at this definition. My dear students, please try to understand this. It is used to, or past perfect tense is used to clarify an action. Used to clarify an action that occurred before another action that occurred or happened before another action in the past. That means this tense refers the past statement, but here this tense is it is used to. Its nature is to occur an action before another action. There are usually two completed actions in the sentence. Generally, this kind of in a past perfect tense, you can find two clauses in a sentence. Two completed two completed actions in the sentence. One happens before the other. Look at this sentence. He had gone home. And the next one is, Papul had stolen my love before I proposed. I went to visit her after I had informed. If you look these examples, you can find this definition is a completed way. Here, Papul had stolen my love. Here is two completed action. Had stolen my love. I proposed. Two completed actions in the sentence or in a sentence. But which comes first? Papul had stolen my love before I proposed. I proposed first, or had stolen my love. Stole my love first or proposed first. The occurrence or the action which comes first? Papul had stolen my love before I proposed. This action comes first, or this action happens first, and then I propose. That means I didn't propose. So this kind of sentence is past perfect tense. It is used to clarify an action. Here the action is demonstrated or clarified that occurred before another action. Here I proposed is an action, but had stolen my love. It happens first, then it happens. So this is past perfect tense. The structure is subject plus had plus V3. That means past participle form of the verb plus ... And next one is, I went to visit her. After I had informed. Look at this sentence. I went to visit her. After I had informed. Which one comes first? Or which one happens first? I had informed. Then I went to visit her. Here I had informed first. I informed first. Then I decide to go to visit her. So this statement or this incident happens first. So this is a past perfect tense. So my dear students, if you make a past perfect tense, you must follow this definition. And here the most important thing is these tenses to clarify an action that occurred before another action. In a past perfect tense must be occurred before another action. I had gone home. I didn't write another action, but what can I write this? He had gone home before I came. He had gone home before I came. Here the action had gone comes first or happens first. So this tense is a past perfect tense. I had, subject plus had plus V3, past personal form of the verb plus etc. You have to remember this. In a past perfect tense must be two completed actions. One happens before the other. And the first which comes first or which occurs first, that is the past perfect tense. Look at this. Again, look at this. I went to visit her after I had informed. I want to visit her after I had informed. First, I had informed, then I want to visit her. So, this is a past perfect tense. My dear students, past perfect tense, it's not too much easy. You have to practice more and more in this type of tense. Past perfect tense can be used as a past indefinite tense sometimes, but not usually, but sometimes it can be used as a past indefinite tense, but it is the most important tense. So you have to practice more and more. My dear students, I think you have got some information about past perfect tense. And next, I am going to describe past perfect continuous tense. My dear students, past perfect continuous tense. The definition of this tense is, it is an extension to the past perfect. Tense and its structure. Extension to the past perfect tense and its structure. That means the structure is subject plus had. The past perfect tense structure was subject plus had plus V3. But here is subject plus had been plus V1 plus ing plus etc. This is used to demonstrate, or this tense, past perfect continuous tense, is used to demonstrate or clarify an action which continued for a specific time or period of time, which continued for a specific period of time. You have to remember this. Continued for a specific period of time, but stopped before another action. So it's clear to us that past perfect continuous tense, such kind of tense where an action which is continued for a specific period of time but stopped before another action. Please look at this story. Yesterday morning, I got up and looked out of the window. Yesterday morning, I got up and looked out of the window. The sun was shining, but the ground was very wet. That means, yesterday morning, I got up and looked out of the window. I looked that the sun was shining, but the ground was muddy or wet. That means it had been raining. It was not raining when I looked out of the window, but it had been raining. But when I looked out of the window, the sun was shining. So it was not raining when I looked out of the window. The sun was shining. Sun was shining, but it had been raining before. It had been raining before. My dear students, please be careful to understand this sort of tense. Past perfect continuous tense is such kind of tense where an action which is continued for a specific period of time but stopped before another action. Stopped before another action means I looked out of the window is an action, but when I got up from bed, the sun was shining, but the ground was muddy or wet. That means it had been raining. It had been raining. So it had been raining before. It had been raining before. That means when it was raining, I was in deep sleep or I was in sleep. Here is an example. Mukta had been living here for 31 years before she got married. Mukta had been living here for 30 years before she got married. Look at this sentence, please. Mukta had been living here for 30 years before she got married. Continued for a specific period of time but stopped before another action. When she got married, we don't know about more information where Mukta is living on. Mukta had been living here. That means Mukta lives here for 30 years. When she got married, we don't know about her. Here, that means, my dear students, that means if you follow this definition and read it carefully and try to understand it, then you can make such kind of sentence. Past perfect continuous tense isn't so difficult. It's too much easy if you just try to understand it. Again, I explain this definition. It is an extension to the past perfect tense and its structure. This sentence or this statement is unnecessary to you. You have to understand these. This is used to, that means past perfect tense is used to demonstrate or clarify an action which is continued for a specific period of time but stopped before another action. Here is the story. The story is clear this tense. I think if you try to understand the story, you will be clear concept in this sentence or on this sentence. Yesterday morning I got up and looked out of the window. The sun was shining, but the ground was very wet. That means it had been raining before I looked out of the window. I looked out of the window. The sun was shining, but it had been raining before. So my dear students, it's very clear to us when we look this sort of action where an action which continued for a specific period of time but stopped before another action, that you can easily detect it as a past perfect continuous tense. Here is another example. I had been doing. So the structure is subject plus had been plus present form of the verb plus ing. That means V1. Subject plus had been plus V1 plus ing plus etc. or etc. or other words. So my dear students, that's all for the time being. I hope if you practice from your book or in your real circumstances or practical situations, you will be much benefited and you will know more about tenses, not only past perfect continuous tense. If you would like to learn English, you have to practice more and more, and you have to practice from your book and in your real circumstances or practical situations. So my dear students, take care. Goodbye. Allah Hafiz.